Hi guys, this might be a weird little video from my channel, but you know I like gardening along with my paper crafts and nails and everything else that I do, but what I have here are some papaya seeds, and all I did was buy a papaya at the store, grocery store. It was little sunrise papaya, like little cutie pie, very light taste. She was still a little bit underripe, and I let it ripen up because if I had cut it open to get the seeds, they would have probably been white seeds. And so I left her in a paper bag with an apple to ripen faster. And tons of seeds, of course. It's a papaya, you know. I mean, this wasn't even like the Mexican or like those bigger papayas. It was just like a little guy. Now, there's lots of ways to propagate these, so that's what I was going to talk about today. I don't know how far I'll get in propagating all of them. So what I did was I just scooped them out, cleaned off as much of the, you know, that little, obviously, papaya pulp that was on them. They have like a little gelatinous coating on them, and I'll try to open this with one hand. So lots of people have different ways. They're like, oh, do this or do that, ferment them and do whatever. Like you do with some tomato seeds, sometimes you leave them in water so that the little jelly coating comes off. That jelly coating, basically, you know how it is with fruit, that supposedly helps them when they go out to plant, that they have that little nutrient there and it helps them out. Other people say it's there, and maybe it serves both purposes, right? Like a tomato, if it was there on the papaya, it's going to start germinating without that covering on it. So there's a couple of reasons why it has that coating. So these are still in water, and maybe you can kind of see it has like a little jelly coating. It's starting to come off because these have been sitting in the water for a few days. So I'm doing this 3 different ways. I already bought some papaya plants at my local nursery. Since I live in San Diego, they're pretty popular. Haven't got them in the ground. I did put one about 2 years ago in a big pot. We've seen it maybe in my other videos. She is just like not growing, so this is something I must be doing wrong, even though she's green and looks beautiful. But she's a lot taller than she was because she was like a little twig when I got her, but I don't know. Seedling, I guess, not really a twig. These guys I'm going to leave to let the little juicy stuff, let that little layer come off. So I'm going to let it ferment off. I don't even know if the lid should be on it. It's just on there. It's not super tight. These guys I brought out of there, most of them, because I don't need all these papayas, of course. So I put most of them on a just paper to dry them. And they get hard, like a peppercorn almost. Look at this one's already getting there. As you can see, it has like little spikes. Super cute. And all I did was lay them out, try to wash away as much of the stuff I could. And I just, every day I'm coming by, I'm like giving them a scrub like this. And that's what all that little yellow matter is. It's all that stuff coming off. Right? So I just let them sit out. I don't know how else you would do it. Maybe you soak it and then let them sit out. I don't know. I'm just taking it off now. So I did it a few different ways. The other ones, I took like 10 of them maybe because you don't need 100 papaya plants. And even if 1 or 2 of those come up, then we're gold, right? I just took a few hand seeds that still had the little layer on them, and I put them right in the ground. So let's go look at that, and then I'll come back like in a week or so and see if anything's happening, okay? But these guys I'm going to continue to let dry. I want them all to look basically like that peppercorn one, and I'll just put them in like a little tub, probably back in here for next year or whenever I feel like I want to plant those. I wouldn't say next year. I'm just saying like maybe in a month or 2 or something, not a whole year. Maybe a whole year. I don't really know how long these last or will stay viable, you know. These guys, again, I'm going to let that coating come off, let them ferment, and I'll get them in the ground, so that's a different thing. And let's go look at the ones I already threw in the ground. Sorry, little site right now. We have no grass, and I don't care about that. We're in California. I'd rather feed my plants. My beautiful, this is a guayaba, and this is another guayaba. The red Malaysian, and then this is just a Mexican guayaba, I think. And then this little guy, oh, I'll just show you, even though this is totally off subject. This is the lemon guayaba. You guys, if you can get yourself a guayaba plant or a guava plant, however you want to call it, get a lemon one. I mean, look at how many are on here. And this thing can be a little low thing, like a shrub. You can just keep pruning it or keep it however you want. But this puts out so many guayabas, and they're about that size. Maybe a little bigger if you let them, but they're so good. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And it just, like, where this one hasn't given me any fruit and that one's barely giving me fruit, the other one has been fruiting since I bought it at Home Depot. Okay, so I threw some seeds in here. I try to pull as many weeds. So we had a Mexican palm for a time, you guys, and that thing dropped all kinds of little, whatever, not nuts or coconuts, I guess. I don't know, they're just small. And on top of the other palm that we have up here, I don't know what they're called, but this guy drops them all the time. So now we're on top of it with the landscaper coming in and trimming them because they're just such a pain. I mean, look at all these things. They're basically more palms, and if you pull it, A lot of times they'll come up with the whole nut on the end of it, or the whole coconut, but this one pulled out without it. Sometimes you'll pull it and then literally the whole little nut will be there. Anyway, I cleared a little area and I threw them in here, basically. There's some seeds in there, and all I did was maybe an inch deep. Maybe not even that deep, honestly. And then I put some more here, because I would like for one to pop up here. If I gotta go out... Oh no! There's a baby lizard. He was having a hard time. Oh, where'd he go? He was on this piece of plastic, and he couldn't get off of it. Aw, I wonder where he went. I would love to show you. He was so tiny. Oh, he took off. Anyway, I don't know if you heard that little rattling. He was just like on there. I'm gonna throw that piece of plastic away, of course. Anyhow, so I put some there, because if it comes up here, I'd be really happy with that. That's some lemongrass that is very suffering, so don't pay attention to that. So we'll give it, I would say a few days, a week. I'll let you know. I'll come back, and that again is just having scooped it out, cleaned it off a little bit, right? Just like washing off the papaya pulp, throwing them in. I threw probably 5 or 6 here and 5 or 6 there, all together, pretty much. But I'll be back. But that same little baby that I had seen outside, he's right there. Lizard, he got in my house. I had to get rid of him. I don't know if you even saw him right now, but I was like, how did he get in the house? He was in my kitchen. I probably left the sliding door a little bit open, but it's so funny because I just seen him in the garden, and it might be the different one, but he was tiny just the same. Sorry, he went under there. He got scared. Oh, I was able to get him out carefully though. Oh my goodness. So, just a follow-up. The little seed I put outside hasn't done anything. It can take a couple weeks, so I'm gonna wait on that. It's been 1 week exactly today. These have been sitting here. The water actually dried out a little bit, and I added more, and it looks like there's fruit fly in there, but I don't see anything really happening to these guys. They still look gelatinous around the edge and all that, so I'm going to take a few of them out. And I'll probably just let the rest of them dry because I don't know what else to do with these. I guess they aren't as jelly as they were, but like I said, I've been having them for a week sitting there, so I'm just giving them a little rub. Because the whole point was to soak them to get rid of that, to ferment, right? I don't know. So we already put in the ground the ones that we didn't do. We just pulled them right out of the papaya. I know you didn't see me do that, but it's literally, I made a little bit of a hole, like kind of close to the surface, and add a little dirt. So these guys, I'm just giving them a little punch up to get rid of that stuff. And in here, hopefully I can open this with one hand, are the ones I just left out to dry. If you guys remember, I didn't do anything. I didn't soak them. I just put them on a paper towel, left them to dry, and hopefully you can see some of them still have a little bit of a skin on them. It kind of flakes off. So what I'm going to do today is I'll show you the other ones that I planted. Obviously nothing's happening. We're going to put some of these and some of these I just pulled out in a pot with some Patio Plus. But let's go outside. How to operate a camera just because I have gloves on. I don't know why. And I probably should have brought out a tripod, but I didn't. So I'm going to be very still. Both of these have Patio Plus and a little bit of, oh, what's it called? Well, let me show you real quick why I love Patio Plus. I don't know if you can see that little white. It's mycorrhiza. It's already in there, ready to go and doing its thing. Anyway, I added a little bit of worm casting. So, let's say on this one, I'm just going to take that little pile of seeds, kind of spread them out a little bit. Because what I'm going to do is just keep the strongest one or two, probably just strongest one, and cover that up. Okay? They're just right under the surface. I have no idea what you're supposed to do, to be honest. And with this one, again, I don't have any need for dry papaya seeds, but like if they work, then great, you know. I'm just going to pour a couple of these, and when I say a couple, I mean like 6 or 7. And I don't know if you can see, they're just kind of in there. I know traffic doesn't bother you seeing, it just is annoying to hear the traffic in the background. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of water. I might put a little B1 in the water just because I like to do that. So B1 is just something I get. It's from the Alaska, I think, fertilizer company. I don't know. I do know it's organic though. And just follow what it says. I think it's a tablespoon per gallon of water, and I don't even need a whole gallon to water these guys in, but I'll be right back with some water. So I have my little water here, and I'm just going to water this in. Now, if you're going to be very good and you're going to watch this, and you're going to water it every day to make sure it doesn't dry out, then do that. If you want, you can put like a little plastic wrap over the top. Sometimes even just like a lid, if you have a lid from like an old something, just to keep the little warm and water in there. You can be a little less diligent, but I'm going to put mine, see the water's already pouring through. I have a little space over here on a plant stand, so I'm going to put it there. And every day just give them a little watering. The problem is here, we are pretty humid here in San Diego right now. If I cover this and then it's just used to that heat and that humidity, and then sometimes it hurts the plant. So I rather just let it start growing the way it is here, you know. So I'll just be watering it every day, basically. Just don't let it dry out, right? Because you're trying to grow seeds. I think in the other area I might have some ants, so they could also eat your seeds. So I don't know. I don't know if they eat those kind of seeds, but let me show you the other space. These guys I'm just going to tuck away, and we'll check back on them in a little bit. So, I hear another lizard. My little babies, I had put them in here. There's some in here, just a few. I don't see anything happening. And there's some somewhere in there. So I'll just keep an eye and see if anything pops up. Hopefully, it's been 1 week exactly. It might be a little too early, but I don't know, it seems like supposedly they spread up real quick, but other videos I've seen they say it takes about 2 weeks, so I'll be patient. But been keeping it nice and moist there in those areas especially. But yeah, I see there's an ant just walking on there, and if you really look you'll see tons more, so hopefully they didn't eat my seeds. Alright, we'll keep watching. Oh my gosh, you guys, on Monday it'll be 2 weeks when I planted the papaya seeds straight. Just remember I showed you guys, well, I didn't show it, I just said I got them right out of the thing fresh and threw them in the ground, just maybe a 1/4 inch deep. I just put some little dirt on top. And today's Saturday, so on Monday it'll be 2 weeks. But I even looked this morning, I didn't see anything, but there it is! Our first little papaya kind of popping up. I know it's hard to tell, but there he, oh my gosh! That is so cool, because again, there was, you know, there were ants crawling around, there's potato bugs crawling around. I'm like, something's gonna have eaten the seed. I mean, look at this, they're just all over. So hopefully that'll still be there in the morning. That's the other thing, we have, you know, snails and slugs that come through, so I might have to put out some kind of bait just to keep them from that. And let me look at the other spot, because honestly that wasn't even there a couple hours ago. This is the other spot that I had just planted. Remember I told you I was going to get rid of that piece of plastic? I don't see anything here yet, but this one might have been a little bit deeper because there are, like, you know, wood chips and things like that on top. So we'll give it, but that same day I stuck some here and I stuck some here. I mean, literally just like a foot away. Alright, I will follow up with the ones that we put in the pots. I showed you last night was around 7 p.m. and it's noon. Let me see what's in the way here. I think a guayaba's shading it, but oh well, I can't quite get there. But he is right there. And look at, see, he's popped open now. He was just kind of sticking his little head out. He was kind of still curved over. You know how plants that come from seeds all the times look like that. So cute. I did put out some slug bait, so he's happy in there. And then over here, I'm still not seeing anything, but maybe if I look a lot closer. Hold on. No, you think? I think that's a weed. Okay, so we will see if anything pops up in this area. But for now, I'm happy with that one, and that should mean that, you know, if the other ones are viable, they're going to start popping up, and then we'll be able to choose just 1 or 2 to keep. Okay, guys, and over here, these are the other little experimental ones. This is the ones, or these are the ones that were fermented, and I can see that there's one little seed kind of up here, but I did cover them just a little bit because I don't want them to dry out because it's been really hot. But it's not so much that they're just like super covered, you know. I kind of let the air out a little bit because it is humid here as it is. And this side are the dry ones, so I'm really curious to see if the ones that got dried out will still work. And a lot of people say the germination on those is a lot lower. There's people who say it's just fine, so you know, I don't know. We'll see, because the other one took about 2 weeks for one of them to pop out. We'll see what happens here. The next morning, and I can see that's our leader, that's our first guy. Look at his little leaves coming in, but there's a guy popping up right there, and you can just see the back of his little bend, you know. There's one coming up right there, there's another bigger one right here. So these guys are gonna do okay. I'm not gonna leave them all, I'll let them get up to a little bit bigger. I think this is a good spot for papaya if I leave it here. Like I said, it's next to the guayaba. I think this pot, even though I put some in there just to see if they would grow, it has to be really wet in here, and I think we might have some coming up actually. No. Yes. No. I can't tell if that's grass. I think that's grass. In here, because this is in between my guayabas, and guayabas like a lot of water. Well, a lot, you know. You want to give them quite a bit of water where that might rot out a papaya, I don't know. So it's probably not the best place anyway in there, but we'll see if they pop up. But out on the further edge, I think is not a bad problem here for that one. So we'll be okay. We did clean up some of this, so it looks like it's clean right now this weekend. I need to bring my ice cream bean back, but okay, sorry, that's beside the point. And another little guayaba there going off. This guayaba is always, I'm telling you guys, if you can get a lemon guayaba, or lemon guava, do it. I mean, look at all these. And I probably need to cut off these bottom ones, because what happens is little animals like to eat them down there. They usually don't take up the higher up ones, but because these guys are kind of floppy, I think if it was a rat, let's say, it's eating them, it probably won't support them, or it'd be difficult. But look at this little guy. Anyway, that's the lemon one. This guy is a Mexican guava, still hasn't really given me much. And then this Malaysian guava has given us some, and there's some getting ready right now. But there's a couple down there too. Okay, let's see how the pots are doing. Again, this is actually 2 full weeks. 2 full weeks on that guy. And then 1 week on the pots, and they're not really doing anything. I checked up with you yesterday, but it's been a couple days since I showed you that that one was looking like it wanted to sprout, and now we have 4. And I probably put 5 seeds in there, to be honest. I know I didn't put a ton because I didn't want, like, you know, so many. So again, these are the ones I just took out, didn't take the little jelly stuff off, didn't do anything. I just took them right out of the papaya and put them right in the ground, maybe like a 1/4 inch under the little dirt there. So I mean, what's funny is that this one came up first, but the other guys are really catching up, even in the development. Very interesting. Over here, still nothing at all that I can see, so that's very interesting. Again, that one does retain a lot of water in that area, and so, I don't know, they might have a harder time, or just, you know, maybe they just didn't take. And again, there I threw another like 5 or 6 of them, so. And then nothing going on in the pots yet. So again, it's just over 2 weeks for these guys, and just over 1 week for the pots. It is Wednesday, 2.5 weeks from when I put these guys in, and I can see there are still more coming up, and to be honest, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but like, I could be done with these guys. I want to just pull them out. So there's one coming up right here. I don't need him. Oh, these feel nice. There's another one right next to this guy, which that's the problem. Once you start getting them too bunched up, I'm actually going to pull this one out. I feel bad and I don't want to do it, but I'm just going to do that. He is in there good. Oh my gosh, look at it. Look how long that little root is already. How cute. I feel bad, but like, honestly, and then the other thing is sometimes people don't like to pull them out because what happens is you can hurt the ones that are right next to them. So like, even these guys, I'd rather keep this one than like this little guy. So you can just bring a scissor. Oh, I'm sorry. Ugh. I'd rather keep this one than this guy. So you can take a scissor and just top the head off. This is the guy that first came out, and he's nice, and I'm going to leave him there. If I leave these to grow, I'll probably leave 2 or 3. I feel like they're going to help each other out, kind of make their root. I am surprised that root is even as deep as it is. That was awesome. I feel like there's another one coming up over here, possibly. Oh no, that's just a weed. Okay, over here still nothing's happening. And still nothing's happening in the pots. I think this is just probably too wet. I've been watering them every day. You don't really have to baby them. It's just that this area, you know, even though there's a sprinkler head like right here, it doesn't get that wet. And that's kind of what I wanted for a papaya. You don't want to get their root too wet, or, you know, because they'll like literally just keel over. It's happened before with the store-bought papaya, that store-bought plant that I had. The other guys aren't doing much, so hopefully they'll do great here. It seems like they're already going pretty well. Really cute. It's going to be like 100 degrees the next few days, so that's another reason I've been watering them, just to make sure they have enough water for now. But as you can see, maybe, I don't know if you can see, there's a few of them right here, and that's way too many in that one little space. And honestly, the reason I just threw the seeds down like that, because I figured, oh, maybe 1 or 2 will come up. Well, they're all pretty much coming up, so I do have to get rid of a few. So we'll keep doing that and see where we're at. So we're back out here at the patch. I think, if I haven't lost track of time, on Monday to Saturday, it'll be 3 weeks? Did I already say 3 weeks? But I don't know if you can see all this ant activity. They are crazy. I don't know if you see any of them. They're like crawling. I put these little sticks here to remind me that this is where my little area is, but there are literally tons of ants. There they are. Which is kind of annoying. And look at all the other trees that have popped up. So again, and I feel bad to do this, I'm going to trim them away. I'm just going to cut them instead of pulling them. That one, both of these guys, and I'm doing this with my opposite hand. I probably shouldn't, because I think I'm going to keep a few of the outer ones, the ones that popped up before, and they're on the outside. And again, I'm not pulling them because it can mess with the roots of the other guys. So this guy back there I'm going to get rid of. I'm probably going to get rid of this guy too. So it's just these 3. I don't know. We'll see. But let's go check our other little pots and see if anything's coming up. This is the seeds that were dried. I don't see anything, but they are a week behind the other guys, so Monday will be 2 weeks for these guys for sure. And these are the ones that were fermented, and again, still not seeing anything. And it's been really, really hot out. I'm going to take this grass out of here. So I guess we'll keep an eye out. You guys, so it is It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. Today's Sunday. But I guess it's 2 full weeks. Tomorrow is Monday. Oh, there's some kind of bug moving around right there. But I wanted to show you something because I came out here and I've been looking at these things every day. The little plastic blew off of this one. I'll find it. It's over there in the other part of the yard. But this is the pot that has the fermented things in it. I don't know what that bug is doing. He's moving that plastic that's there. Anyway, that's weird. The fermented seeds, and it's not doing anything. But this morning I looked at this one, so see, drum roll, I think you guys know where I'm going with this, and nothing was going on. And I just came to water because it's been over 100 degrees the last couple days. So I lifted this up and I can see, oh, look at that! I'm not kidding, when I checked it 5 minutes ago, I saw this one, but there's 2! So these are the dry seeds, you guys. These are the seeds I let sit on my counter. I just rubbed the stuff off. I didn't soak them like this guy. I just rubbed, you know, the jelly stuff that's on there off of them. And I left them sit on the counter until they dried completely. You guys saw it. They were real hard, remember? So these are the dry ones. And 2 of them are already coming up. Oh my gosh. So I think that's pretty good. I don't know what's going on with these guys. You know, I mean, all things being equal, I have no idea. But, we'll give it another day, and then I'll just do the video, and that way we'll know a couple of things. But I can't keep holding on to this video. I tried to. It's been 3 weeks now, and that's kind of a long time. Especially, I don't know. I mean, it's August right now in Southern California. Maybe these were supposed to be planted out in the spring. I have no idea. I just threw them out, and, you know, it's been really hot. I don't know what kind of bug that is or what it is doing, but he is busy. Look. Ew. Okay, let's go look at the other ones, though, the ones that are in ground. So, you guys, I have been busy cutting things off and picking them out. Like this one still has this little stub right there because all I did was cut it off, but I'm going to pull it out and look at that. Look at that little root, and look how long that taproot is because this whole thing was underground, except for that little bit that I was touching there. So there's still some there. There's this one coming up. I saw another one come up this morning and I picked it out. So I'll probably keep the biggest one, but look how cute their little leaves. They're new leaves that are coming in. Obviously the little baby leaves, getting some of that sun in there. And then they're starting to make more of what's going to end up being their true leaves. Nothing has happened over here, which is interesting. I planted at the same time. I don't see anything. I don't think. Maybe, I was going to say, is that one there? Yeah, no. I mean, I don't see anything, which is interesting because this, like I said, stays more watery than like this over here. But yesterday I did pull one out, and I felt so bad because the whole taproot came out just like you saw, and then it had like little roots. So right here I'm trying to revive some lemongrass that people say you can't kill, but clearly I killed it. I put it in there. All I did was make a little hole and I stuck it, and look at it. It's not tired, it's not drooping, like she's just fine. And I literally pulled her out. I wasn't trying to baby it or anything. So we'll see. Maybe that one will make it. If it wants to be there, that's fine. Obviously, I might transplant it after that, but again, papaya doesn't really like being transplanted because they have that long tap root, and then they have roots that kind of go out, that spread out. So, I mean, it's up to you. I can show you actually a couple that I got from the store, and we'll talk about that, so I'll be right back. As we walk over there, guys, I was just looking at my figs. It has been over 100 degrees, and some of these guys are not super happy, but look at my little tiny dragon fruit. That's my first one. She's gonna be great. She's already changing color, but I'm just happy that she got fertilized and all that. Okay, so it is hot, and I don't care about this grass because in California right now, I don't care about grass. But this guy I had gotten at Home Depot. I'd got or bought at Home Depot, and I put her in the ground about 3 weeks ago, and so she's gotten a lot taller. She looks great. So you can see she has some little roots all around here. And I've just been feeding her, you know, watering her, whatever. That one I still have to get in ground, and it's just too hot. I feel like with the heat and then transplanting it, it might be too much. So I'm going to wait till it cools off in the next couple days. It should cool off. And I'm going to put her basically there where she is right now. I just put her there. And whenever I brought these guys home, they were in full sun anyway at the store, so I didn't do anything to baby them. But a lot of times I'll bring home plants, like my starfruit over here, and I left her under the shade, like under the pergola, and then I brought her out. So anyway, so these must be a few months, maybe a couple months old, right? Generally, supposedly, like in 2 or 3 weeks, this thing's already taken off, so I would think that they're a couple months old, both of these guys. But this one was about the size of that one when I got her in the ground, and she's a lot taller now. Okay, I do want to also show you tomorrow the papaya that I had got the seeds from, because I bought another one just to eat it, and it's in the fridge. But I'll show you that in just a minute. Do you see a passion fruit hanging out right there? She's a big one. Anyway, there's a bunch of them. It's just that's the one. I just noticed it. Yeah, they're all over. And I thought she was done for the, you know, just for a little while, and then I just realized, oh, we have tons of flowers getting ready to open up. Tons and tons of flowers. So she's going to do another flush of fruit, I guess, because we were getting several every day. They just fall off and you're ready to go. But anyway, okay, I'll give it one more day, see if the fermented seeds do anything. And the other thing is, supposedly some papaya seeds you can just leave in the ground, and maybe in a month or 2 or 3 from now they'll just start doing their own thing. So it might be that they'll come up, but for right now it looks like I had the best luck with the drying, which was just cleaning it off and drying them. And then the other one was just throwing them in the ground with just having come out of the papaya, right? Didn't take off the jelly stuff, I just threw them in the ground with their jelly and everything. So, okay, I'll be back. Let's go in my fridge to show you. This is the kind of papaya I had used initially. She was kind of underripe when I picked it up, so I put it in a paper bag and left it on the counter. This one was already yellowing, so I just put it in the fridge, and she hasn't really matured any in the last week, but something like this. And, yeah. Alright, it does say golden papaya on there, which is interesting, because I think when I bought it, it said it was a sunrise papaya, but anyway. Alright, and then I just cut it in half and started doing all my experiments. So it is Monday afternoon. It's actually September 5th? Labor Day? I think it's the 5th. Yeah, so just yesterday, you know, we saw him kind of bent over, and there are a few more. I can see another one coming up right there. Again, these are the dried ones. So I took them out, cleaned all the stuff off them, let them dry, and that's kind of where we're at, right? And so they're just barely opening up. So yeah, 2 weeks exactly, and these guys started coming up, and I'm gonna let them do their thing. I'll probably just keep one in this pot, and then I'll transplant it if I decide to keep it, because that's already kind of a lot of papaya. My husband's like, you don't need that many. I'm like, you do need that many. Over here, I put this lid back on here just to see if, I don't know, nothing going on. And these are the ones that I fermented for a while, right? Let them sit in water for like, I don't know, 5-7 days. Nothing's happening. But maybe it'll happen later. One thing that is growing is whatever this green thing is here. Little grass came in. But let's go look at the other guys that are on the ground, and then that'll be it for this experiment. And then of course I'll follow up. Guys, you can tell, I mean, they're just getting bigger and bigger. I think you can see them easier even if I wasn't close up, but look at that. So again, I'm going to keep thinning these out. I'm not going to keep all of these guys, but so far the best luck I've had was just getting them. Don't even clean them off, don't take nothing off of them, and just throw them in the ground. And it's literally like just throwing a little bit of dirt on top. I can see that they're, like, this one's starting to get a little color on it, on his little trunk. It looks really good. So I'm gonna let these guys do their thing, and then I'll follow up with you guys, you know, maybe in a couple weeks, and we can see how much growth. Over here nothing has happened, even though they were the same bunch. They're just in a different area. Much more shady area, and again more water in this area, and nothing happened. So this is the best area here, ending where it's usually really wet, starting to come up over here where it's drier, and they're doing great. And then this little guy, like I told you, I put him in here just to see, because I was like, he came out so nicely. He's starting to put out his other little leaf, so you know, I don't know, it looks like he likes that little spot. Anyhow, and I treated that guy poorly. I just ripped him out of the ground, and he's still kicking. So, alright guys, well, hopefully that was a fun little experiment. Again, best just take them out, throw them in the ground. The next better one was cleaning it up, letting them dry on the counter, and then I planted them. Those did well. The ones that fermented and then, you know, cleaned up and just, you know, put them out in the pot did not do anything yet. That doesn't mean they won't do anything, but just not yet. So those have been 2 weeks, and these are 3 weeks since putting them in the ground. So about a week since they came up out of ground, right? Alright, I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.